Jessie here from OBX Millennial, and today we are going to die of a 19th century disease. Okay, so obviously we're not going to die of a 19th century disease today, but we are going to play a Millennial's favorite, tried and true classic, Oregon Trail. The caveat is that we are going to have Gen Alpha direct our entire gameplay to see if we can still survive. So if you follow my blog over at OBX Millennial, and if not, you should, because blogs are still cool, you'll know that the other day I shared a post titled The Top 12 Nostalgic Millennial PC Games. Now, if you don't know what the Oregon Trail is, the Oregon Trail was originally developed in 1971 by a teacher in Minnesota who was trying to teach his history class about the Oregon Trail in the 1800s. In 1985, the MECC, or Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium, released a version for the Apple II, which was a DOS version video game. It did get reimagined, and there were several adaptations through the years, but generally the Oregon Trail was designed to be an educational strategy video game that was hugely popular, especially in the 90s. It garnered a lot of attention. It was on most school computers, and I would say that through the years, this is a game a lot of people have played, though they've probably played different versions depending on their age. Generally, however, it is really a game that was popular from millennials when computers kind of first came out. If you're older or younger, you probably didn't experience this, but when computers first became widespread in school, we would have to go to a computer lab to learn how to type or to have classes on, just basic computer usage. And granted, this was early 90s, mid 90s. There were old Apple computers, early Microsoft computers, nothing like we deal with today. So computer games that you could play in the computer lab after you were done with your typing lesson, that was like a dream come true for kids. You literally got to go to a computer lab and play video games. And Oregon Trail was one of those games. Through the recent years, it's really picked back up in popularity. I would definitely attribute this to the 90s nostalgia vibe that us millennials are desperately hanging on to. No shame. And our generation has kind of claimed the game as a stepping stone for early childhood. You've probably seen a lot of memes online that come from the Oregon Trail game. I will share some here and here. There is a really popular shirt going around on TikTok that is available, and it has a little Oregon Trail wagon logo, and it says, "Please be patient with me, I'm from the 1900s." I have seen other versions of shirts like that. My little brother owns one. So it's really exploded in popularity, and it really is a nostalgic game for people anywhere from 25 to 50. But it is a game that is fun for everybody, and it is really a game that no matter where you lived in the country in the 90s, you've probably played this game. There are a few of the games on my nostalgic PC games blog that might be location based or very particular to, say, the elder millennials or the younger millennials or the mid millennials. But Oregon Trail is just a game that most people know. So today we are going to play it. So back in elementary school when we played this, we were just taking off across the West, mid 1800s, wagon tongues and 10 oxen in our wagons, just ready to caulk the whole thing and float across the river. No idea what we were doing. No idea where any of these landmarks were. Totally blindsided. Did I even know what a wagon tongue was at the time? No, I did not. So even though the basic gameplay of Oregon Trail is pretty simple, looking at it from the viewpoint, of a 35-year-old woman who has been playing video games her whole life. Back when this first came out, this was pretty high tech. This was advanced. This was a little beyond our years, which is why I thought playing it now, although fun, might not really be a challenge. I understand when to leave and what to buy in order to make it successfully. But who doesn't know a lot about the Oregon Trail? Our young Gen Alpha friends. So the first step to this video is that I needed to find myself some Gen Alphas. Now, I am not a mom in the traditional sense. I am one of those childless cat ladies that you've been hearing about lately. But I am not a mom to human children, so I needed to find some. Luckily, I have two wonderful women in my life. A cousin on my dad's side who I have pretty much grown up with since I was a baby. She is like a sister to me. No matter what I have done through the years or vice versa, we can't get rid of each other. And that's how it should be. And then on my mom's side, I have a cousin who married into the family about 10 years ago, despite knowing us. I'm just kidding. We're great. But she didn't marry into the family. They are both wonderful people, some of my closest friends and confidants, and they both happen to be amazing mothers. And thanks to them, I get to play the fun aunt role to the kids, even though I'm technically a second cousin. And the aunt role is actually very fun. I'm basically that lady who lives at the beach. I have cats. I always get them presents. I mean, kids love cats and vacations and presents, so I pretty much have it nailed down. I'm teasing a little bit, but I really do love these kids, and they were more than happy to help me with this video. So I'm going to be referencing them as cousin, nephew, and niece, as one of them refers to me as a cousin and the others see me as more of an aunt. So let's get started. So there are a couple different places to play Oregon Trail Online. Classic Reload is a great option. There are a couple ads you're going to have to ignore, as you can see, but there are a lot of other great Millennial games you can play in Classic Reload, like Dino Park Tycoon and Dr. Quandary, which are two of the games that I listed on the blog. But today I'm going to be playing on this website, which is OregonTrail.ws. And you can see this is the version 2.1, copyright 1988 to 1991. And I would say this is probably the version that a lot of us are familiar with. The objective of the Oregon Trail game is that you and 4 other people, members of your wagon, are going to start off with some basic supplies and travel to the West Coast. In the game, the map looks like this. And you start in Independence, Missouri, and finish here in Oregon City. This is from the National Park Service website in Oregon, just to give you an example of the real-life Oregon Trail. Once again, this is Independence, Missouri, and Oregon City in Oregon. And that is the route we are going to take in this game. Now, to play the game, if you've never played and you would like to give it a try, everything is keyboard-based. So as you can see, this is the opening screen. I would hit in number 1 and then hit enter. And that is how I can proceed. You also can type in Y for yes and N for no if your choice is a yes or no question. There are instructions on the keyboard for how to hunt, which you will do later in the game for food. But everything is keyboard based. You're not going to use your mouse. This is very basic. This is classic graphics, classic controls. You are going to mainly be using the numbers at the top of your screen, the numeric keypad if you have one, the enter key, and the spacebar key. So anyone can play this, even on a laptop. So let's proceed. So my cousin told me that for this game, we are going to be bankers from Boston. And that is because she loves money, which who can argue with that? So let's proceed as a banker. I am going to type my name in here. So for this part of the game, this was one of the most fun parts for anyone who played, because you got to pick who you wanted in your party, who is going in your wagon with you and crossing west. It was really fun to put your friends in your wagon with you, or maybe like famous people, anyone you knew, because the objective, when I say successfully make it across to the West Coast, is to have all of your party members make it by a certain date and all alive. And you will see that in this game, they do not always all make it. So I asked my cousin to pick 2 people for the wagon, and she has decided to choose Taylor Swift and Dolly Parton, which excellent choices. I really don't know how we couldn't make it across with such a great team. And then my nephew chose Michael Hardy. If you don't know who that is, he is a country singer, professionally goes by Hardy, and he's performed and written songs with artists like Florida Georgia Line, Thomas Rhett, Morgan Wallen. And then my niece picked the last member of our party, and she said that we should bring Stitch along with us to the West Coast from Lilo and Stitch. So let's add Stitch to our wagon, and we are good to go. All right, so it is 1848. Our jumping off place is Independence, Missouri, and we need to decide when to leave. So the reason for these options is that if you leave too early, there may not be grass for your oxen to eat who pull the wagon. If you leave too late, you might not make it to the West Coast by winter. Winters are brutal. You don't want to be out there, driving across the plains with a couple oxen in your wagon in the winter. So you really want to pick the right month to leave. My niece decided we should pick June because that is when her birthday is. So can't argue with that logic. We are going to type in 4 for June. Now we have $1,600 in cash, which we can spend on supplies. Keep in mind that your amount of cash will differ based on the job you pick in the beginning. So thankfully, my little cousin thought we should have as much money as possible. So we do have a lot of spending money here. So these are our options of what we can buy. We can buy a team of oxen to pull the wagon, clothing for both summer and winter, food for the trip, ammunition for our rifles, and spare parts for our wagon. For the store, I asked my nephew to pick all of the supplies I was going to need for my trip. So starting with oxen, there are 2 oxen and a yoke. He told me we are taking 10 yoke, so we are taking 20 oxen. For food, you can take up to 200 pounds a person, which is 2,000 pounds. My nephew said, let's bring all 2,000 pounds. For clothing, the shopkeeper says he recommends at least 2 sets of clothes per person. That would be 10 sets. My nephew said we are bringing 3 sets. So we may be a little underclothed in some places. We'll see. We can possibly trade for clothing later or buy them down the road. For ammunition, you can buy up to 99 boxes of bullets. My nephew said buy 99, so we are going with that. And then for spare parts, here's what I was talking about earlier. As a kid, I had no idea what wagon axles or wagon tongues were, so I didn't really understand. That's fine. We've got it now. My nephew says we're taking 1 extra wheel, 1 extra axle, and 2 extra tongues. So here we go. You can see our total bill is $1,068, which does leave us with a good amount of money to spend through the rest of the trip. It is important to know, if you are playing this for the first time, that along your routes, there are going to be opportunities to hunt for food, to trade with other people you run into along the trail, and there will be forts along the way. At forts, you can buy supplies. However, as the trail gets closer and closer to Oregon, everything is more and more expensive. So, for example, right now, the spare parts are $10 each. At the next fort, they're $12.50 each. At the fort after that, they're $15 each. So they're going to get more and more expensive as the trail goes on, and you are going to have less and less money as the trail goes on. So just keep that in mind when you're starting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We have all of our supplies here. Ready to go. Good luck. We have a difficult journey ahead of us. Okay, here we go. Now, one thing I want to mention about this game is there are some graphics that I would say, fair warning, probably not considered politically correct this day and age. So take that as you will. So when you start, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the map. And we did see this earlier, but now you can see once again, there are a couple options. You can go ahead and move forward on the trail. You can check your supplies. You can always look at a map. You can also change your pace, change your food rations, stop to rest, attempt to trade, talk to people, or buy supplies. These are only the options when you are at a fort. When you are traveling and you hit the enter key to bring up this menu, you will not be able to buy supplies. So we are going to check our pace. Right now we are at steady. Steady is the normal pace, the slowest pace. We're going to crank it up a little bit while everything is good and we're all good and we have lots of supplies. We're going to go on a strenuous pace. As far as our food rations, right now we are eating filling. We can switch to meager or bare bones. We do have plenty of food right now, but just so we don't get, too far ahead of ourselves, we're going to go ahead and switch to meager. All right, let's get started. You can see that we have 102 miles to the Kansas River crossing, which is our first checkpoint. All right, here we go. We are heading out. As you can see in this game, it's literally just going to be the minimal graphics and the text on your screen. We have already made it to our first checkpoint. We are at the Kansas River crossing. Would you like to look around? Yes, let's take a look. So you can see these are excellent graphics, great memories. Okay, we are going to continue. We don't need any more supplies or anything yet, so we are good to go. So we must cross the river. It is 619 feet across and 3.6 feet deep in the middle. 3.6 feet is a little deep for our oxen. 619 feet across is kind of a long way. I'm not feeling good about this. So here are our options. We can attempt to ford the river. We can caulk the wagon and float it across. We can take a ferry. We can see if conditions change, or we can get more information if you aren't sure what these options mean. I'm going to take a ferry. It does cost money and it delays the trip a little bit, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Oh, 6 days. This is a very long time. But you know what? We're going to do it just to be safe. We do have precious cargo in our wagon. We have Dolly Parton. We have Taylor Swift. Okay. So this is a pretty safe option. It is cheap, but it does take time. So let's continue. At any time, you can hit enter to size up the situation. Oh, one of our oxen is injured. We do have 20, so I think we can continue. I'm not too worried about that. Oh, look, we found some more clothing. That's good. We are really going at a strenuous pace here. Okay, we are at another river crossing, so I am not going to look around. We are just going to proceed. 227 feet across, 2 feet deep. That's not that far. I think we could float it, but it's also not that deep. I think we can walk across it. So let's proceed. We are going to attempt to ford the river. This is always very nerve-wracking as a kid, but looks like we got it. It's muddy, but we didn't get stuck. We are good. So far, we are on a roll. Knock on wood. It is now about 3 weeks into June. We are doing okay. Our health is fair. We have plenty of food. The weather is really hot. We have made it to our first fort. So we are going to look around just so you guys can see what that looks like. Okay, so sizing up the situation. The weather is cool. Our health is fair. We're a strenuous pace, meager rations. We don't really need to buy supplies, but I do want to show how much more they cost. So you can see everything is more expensive now that we are on the journey. So just keep that in mind for in the future. If you need anything, try to get it early. We are going to hit 8 to leave the shop. We are going to attempt to trade, see if there is anything good. Let's see. We meet another immigrant who wants 1 wagon axle. He will trade 32 pounds of food. Well, we only have 1 wagon axle, so I don't think we want to do that. I'm really looking to maybe get another axle. 1 wagon axle for 1 wagon tongue. That doesn't really solve our problem. I'd like to have 2 of each just in case, because you do lose them very easily in this game, if I remember correctly. The same thing. We're not getting anywhere. Let's try one more time. 50 pounds of food. We don't need food right now, so I'm going to go ahead and buy 1 more axle and 1 more tongue. I'm sorry, 1 more wheel while we are here. So we have 2 of each just in case. Okay. I think we're good. Check our supplies. Yeah. All right, let's proceed. Cruising along, doing good. Nothing has come up. Found some wild fruit. All right, we made it to another landmark. We don't need to take a look around. We're good. We are cruising. We are fair health, plenty of food. Okay, we don't need to take a look around. Found some more fruit. I'm going to go ahead and do a little hunting. Oh my gosh, Taylor Swift has measles. Okay, so absolutely, we are taking a break. We are going to size up the situation. So every time you attempt to hunt, it does spend a day. So we're going to hunt for food, which will also give us a chance to rest. Okay, there we go. I'm kind of stuck in these bushes, but I still at least got some food. All right, it says our health is poor. Taylor Swift still has the measles. So we're going to spend another day hunting. Might as well get some food while we're resting. Okay, here we go. Anytime something kind of comes up on you, you do stop walking. So whenever you get a bison, might as well hit escape to leave, because you can only carry 100 pounds of food at a time. And as you can see, a bison is 1,000 pounds of food. So looks like we're still in poor health. Let's go ahead and hunt 1 more day. Oops. Just ran right into that. That was really bad. The controls aren't perfect. I'm not an expert. This is no, Bass Pro game. Oh well. We're still in poor health, so we are going to go ahead and rest because I'm not going to lose Taylor Swift to measles. That's just not happening. Let's rest 2 days. Okay, health fair. It looks like she's healed up, so let's go ahead and continue. We still have almost 1,800 pounds of food, so that really wasn't that big of a deal. Oh my gosh. So we have another illness. Stitch has dysentery. That is the most infamous of the diseases in this game. I'm going to go ahead and rest 1 day just to be fair. But, Stitch is an alien. I think maybe he'll be okay. Oh, we're still in poor health. Maybe I will rest 2 days. Still in poor health, but we're continuing. We've rested 3 days. We've lost an oxen. That's okay. We have more. Continue on the trail. Okay. Another oxen's injured. Starting to get dicey. It's really hot. We're going really fast. We could slow up, but we are going to keep going. There's no grass. We're really cruising. Okay. Oh, we've had a fire. We have lost clothing and both wagon tongues. That happens. Okay, we have made it to our next landmark. We don't want to look around. Let's attempt to trade. See if we can get one set of clothing. No, we really need some. Oh, we'll trade one wagon tongue. Yes, let's do that. Okay, so now we have at least one wagon tongue. Our health is fair. Let's continue. I think very little water. Oh, our health is poor again. Okay. Oh, see, look. Okay, so we're going to try to repair it. We were unable to, but we do have a spare part, luckily, because we just traded for it. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can attempt to get another one. One set of clothing. No. 64 pounds of food. I mean, we do have plenty of ox to spare, so sure. One wagon wheel. Oh, we only have 2 sets of clothing anyway, so no. Let's try one more time. Trade you 1 set of clothing. Okay, yeah, we have plenty of bullets, so let's do that and attempt one more. No one wants to trade with us. Okay, so let's continue. We really do want to get another wagon tongue when we can in case we have another issue. We don't need to look at South Pass. Okay, so this part of the game, you can either head to the fort to buy supplies or you can head to the next river crossing. I will show the map to see. You can see Fort Bridger is kind of taking us out of the way, but it does give you the option to buy supplies if you need it. I think we're doing okay, so we're going to continue and head to the river. 57 miles to the river. We are doing fair. We have 1,600 pounds of food. We are still cruising. No grass for the oxen, but we are getting close to fall. Summer is almost over. All right, so we don't need to look around. All right, so we are at another impasse with the river. It is 400 feet across, 20 feet deep. Obviously, the oxen cannot walk through 20 feet. 400 feet across is a little long. I'm worried that if we caulk the wagon and float it, we will have an issue. Let's see how long it takes for a ferry. 5 days. You know what? We've been going a quick pace. We have the time to spare. Let's go ahead and do this. I might be riskier if I wasn't filming. I just really don't want to have to end the video because everyone is drowned. So let's, give the time to rest. Our party's tired anyway. It is hot. It is summer. Let's see. Obviously, we made it. So let's continue. Okay, it is August 18th. We are in fair health. It is hot. We got 1,500 pounds of food. We've gotten lost. There's no grass. But we are still trudging along, doing good. The grass, bad water. Okay, we are coming up to another river. Okay, we are at Soda Springs. 57 miles to the next fort. Wild fruits. Okay, at this fort, we are going to try to trade, and then we are definitely going to buy another wagon tongue if we can't trade one. Sure. Oh, that is classic. Okay, so let's try to trade. One set of clothing, one wagon wheel. No. Let's try again. Yes, we will do that. We have plenty of bullets to spare. Okay. Just out of curiosity, a wagon tongue is $20 per tongue now. So I think we will just leave. I think we're doing okay. I might be being a little stingy on spending the money, but I think we're good. But we are going to continue. We are doing good. We are heading to the Snake River, 182 miles away. Oh, we are in poor health. Bad water. It's still hot. It's September and it's really hot still. Very little water. I think we might need to slow down or take a rest. Oh, our health is 3 days. Okay. You know what? Let's do a little rest. Stop to rest. Let's rest for 2 days. See if that brings our health up any. Okay, fair. We're good. Okay. Let's continue. Found some more wild fruit. That's great. You do get about 20 pounds of food, it looks like, when you... We must cross this river. Oh, it's 1,000 feet across and 6 feet deep. So obviously option number 3 is not politically correct. We are going to choose it though. 2 sets of clothing. We will accept this offer, but it is important to know that those were our last 2 sets of clothing, so we are going to have to get some more. Okay, looks like we're good. We had no trouble. Now we are going to attempt to trade. We are striking out with the clothing. Okay. Who wants 1 wagon tongue? No, that's what we traded for to begin with. Okay, let's just keep going and hope that we don't freeze. We're coming up to a fort, so we will buy some clothing there. We have the money. Oh, we're having a rough trail. Okay. Oh, I did not click to look around, which means I didn't get the option to buy. So that was a mistake. We are now in cold weather and we have no clothing. So we are going to try to get some clothing. And Leo has come to help me out here. Okay, finally, 92 pounds of food for 1 set of clothing. Yes, we need at least 1 extra set of clothing, so we're going to do that. Okay, we are going to continue on the trail. Oh, okay. Okay, we are still doing fair. It's a little water. I think we're doing okay. Ooh, our health is poor. Oh, our health is very poor. So let's take a break. Let's take a look at the map to see how much farther we have. Okay, we are pretty close. So I think we have some time to rest. We have almost made it across the whole Oregon Trail. I don't want to jump to any conclusions yet because this game can quickly go south. So let's... Whoops. Okay, let us stop to rest. I think we have the time. It is still not close to winter yet. We're still into late fall. Let's rest for 3 days and see how that helps us. Oh, we are still at very poor health, so let's rest 3 more days. Oh, that has not helped us at all. So, we're doing okay. We're not doing great. We're going to continue. Ooh, Hardy has a fever. Okay, so we're not doing great, but we are getting there. So we're going to hunt for food. We are below 1,000 pounds now. This will give us another chance to rest as well. So okay, we're gonna need more than that. Oh, a bear. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, we got the bear. I think that's more than 100 pounds of food. Yes, okay. Oh no, okay. Taylor Swift has the measles again. I don't know what is up with this trip. We are not losing Taylor. Let us hunt and spend another day. Got the bear. Oh my gosh. Okay, now Dolly Parton has dysentery. We are not doing good. We're not doing good at all. We are going to stop and rest for a whole week. Whole business week. I don't know what to say. No. We have failed. We have failed this trip. Even if we make it across, we have failed. You can see we were close to the end. I've been resting, been hunting. We even rested when she got the measles. And as I said, things can go very south in this game. Everyone's sick. She just died of the measles. Stitch has a fever. This is terrible. We're still in very poor health. Okay. We're going to rest. Oh my gosh. Stitch just died. We haven't even done anything. We're just resting and everyone's dying. So oh my gosh. This is not good. We've already lost 2 members of our party. Okay. First of all, we are going to change our pace and go steady because we don't want to go too fast with everyone sick. We are going to rest 3 more days, and that's it. We've got to get going. Cool. From resting. We have just lost. We have lost 2 great American heroes and an alien. And all that's left is me and Hardy. So hopefully his name describes his health in this game because we are going on. Injured oxen. Oh, we just lost 8 days and Hardy has the measles. You know what? I take back everything I said about being close to the end. I feel like So remember how I said as a 35-year-old woman I knew how to beat this game? I take everything back. Okay. I guess I can continue on by myself if oh my gosh, I have measles. Okay, so if you, as the main person in the wagon, dies, the game is over. So I'm going to have to rest. Well, I was going to take a break, but it appears that I have instead decided to take an eternal rest. So there we go. We did not make it. Sure. Hey, we tried. You know what? I don't really want to live in a world without Taylor Swift anyway, so. Well, there we go. We tried. We really did. We gave it an honest try. Perhaps with different items in the beginning or leaving it a different month. Would that have changed anything? Who knows? The game is totally random with when people get sick. As you can see, we rested and everyone just died anyway. We hit the point and just everyone was gone. So also sorry to all of the Dolly Parton, Michael Hardy, Stitch, and Taylor Swift fans out there. I did not mean to do your people dirty. You saw me try to win. And I didn't pick the characters, so I blame kids for this. So there we have it, folks. We gave it our best efforts. I spoke too soon, got ahead of myself, thought I had it figured out. Clearly I didn't. This really takes me back to elementary school me finishing up my typing quiz and putting all my best friends in a wagon, thinking we were going to win this time. I'm not sure if I ever won. I actually just asked my cousin, should I film this again and try to make it to the end with all of my party or some of my party, or is it more entertaining that we didn't make it? She can't remember really ever winning with everyone still alive either. So that's where we're going to end it. Definitely check the Oregon Trail out if you haven't played. If you do remember that game and love it and haven't played it in a while, it is out there. It is available for you to play for free. It will take you back. It may knock you down a peg in terms of how good you thought your video game skills were, but that's, it is what it is. The Oregon Trail is also a great opportunity to play the game with your Gen Alpha kids and then give them a quick history lesson. I would love to hear about your experiences playing Oregon Trail. Have you ever won with your whole party? What games were nostalgic for you growing up? What PC games take you back? Please tell me in the comments. I'd love to know. For more content like this, go to www.obxmillennial.com.